Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kalsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Our salutations to Lord Shri Krishna, who gave that immortal message of Bhagavad Gita. At the outset, I am thankful to Vivekananda Samiti, IIT Kanpur, for organizing this Gita Mahotsav, and I'm thankful to them for giving me an opportunity of sharing my thoughts with you on the topic, how to face life, wisdom from Gita. At the outset, I would like to apologize. I had been suffering from throat infection from last 3-4 days. I tried my best for getting over this problem, both allopathic and Ayurvedic, and yet the improvement is not much. But because there was slight improvement, I have taken that chance of sharing my thoughts with you. I hope you would not mind my voice, which is not at all good. So, how to face life? First of all, what is life? This question was asked by Maharaj of Khetri, Ajit Singh Ji, to Swami Vivekananda. Swamiji, what is life? And Swamiji instantly replied, my dear prince, life is nothing but the unfoldment of a being under the circumstances trying to press it down. So it is a struggle. Life is a struggle. The whole life is a battlefield where we counter so many problems. And when we come out of these problems, we go higher and higher, and we get evolved. So in this context, let us understand how Bhagavad Gita is so very practical, because it starts with the first yoga itself as Arjuna Vishad Yoga. It is very apt topic. At present, the modern man is suffering from this Arjuna syndrome, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. We are all having Vishada. Ask anybody, how are you? Fine. Any problem? Oh, a lot of problems. All are under tension. There is so much of depression, frustration all around. Vishada is there in most of the people's minds, whether these students, whether they are from the corporate sector, whether they're businessmen, all of them, even children, small kids, they're all suffering from tension, mental tension, depression, despondency. Vishada is everywhere in everybody's mind, to a certain extent or a greater extent, to some extent or a greater extent. Now, in this context, the message of Bhagavad Gita becomes very important. It starts this whole battlefield like Kurukshetra, where we encountering many problems, and sometimes there is a crisis, as the crisis that was faced by Arjuna. Just 5 minutes back, he told Sri Krishna, please take this chariot in the middle of the Kurukshetra and let me see all the enemies who are on the opposite side. He was so confident and he wanted to fight with full vigor. But after seeing the people who were in the opposite army, he was overcome with sorrow, with cowardice, because of 2 reasons. Number one, he got afraid whether I'll be alive or not, because there are so many thousands of them and so strong people. And secondly, because of many of them were relatives, very close relatives. How to kill them? So he was overcome with sorrow. and he sat down on the chariot. He told Sri Krishna that my Gandiva, I am not able to keep the Gandiva. My hands are shaking. My mouth is dried up. I will not fight. And he sits down on the chariot. This is exactly what happens when a student is facing examination, when there is a hard paper, when there is a question paper is very tough. What happens? The mouth is dried up of the student. Then he starts shaking, and he says, I will not give examination. I will take a drop. Or businessman, when there is a great loss, then he says, I will quit the business. Or an officer who is facing problems in the office, he says, I will resign. So Arjuna says, I will renounce the world. I will become a hermit. I will become a monk, but I will not fight. And some people go to the extent saying, I will quit the life itself. I will commit suicide. This is what is happening. Why so many number of suicides increasing? Only one problem, one thing is that they are unable to face the problem squarely. There is no boldness to face the problem squarely. And that is why they sit down, say, no, I will quit the life. I will commit suicide. Or another way of escapism is taking to drugs, trying to forget the miseries, trying to forget the problems, or take to wine. All these things are happening. Why so many drug addicts? Why so much of suicide? Only because the people, they are not able to face the problem squarely. It is here at this point that we get very important message from Bhagavad Gita, how to fight in the battle of life. We should not become overpowered with weakness, with cowardice. So the second chapter opens with a shloka describing the miserable condition of Arjuna. Sanjay Vacha tam tatha krupya avishtam ashrupurna kulekshanam vishidantam idam vakyam uvacha Madhusudana. Sanjay tells Dhritarashtra, to him who was thus overwhelmed with pity and sorrowing, and whose eyes were dimmed with tears, Madhusudana spoke these words. What are the words? See the condition of Arjuna, sorrowful, almost the picture of a modern man, a frustrated man. And Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, what is the Blessed Lord said? What the Blessed Lord said? Uttatsva kashamalibidam vishime samupastitam anaryam ajustam aswargyam akirtikaram Arjuna. He says, in such a state, whence comes upon thee, O Arjuna, this dejection, un-Aryan-like, disgraceful, and contrary to the attainment of heaven? How this come to you? And then, second sentence is more powerful. Klebhyammas magama partha, naita tattvai upapaddate, shudram hridaya dorbalyam, takto tishta parantapa. Yield not to unmanliness, O son of Pritha. Ill doth it become thee. Cast off this mean faint-heartedness and arise, O scorcher of thine enemies. Arise. This is the message that Sri Krishna tells Arjuna. And this is the message of Sri Krishna to the modern man who is beset with a lot of problems. Don't get despondent. Don't be cowardly. Be bold. Face the problems squarely. This does not befit thee. Why? Because inside you is the all-powerful Atman, having this infinite power. That is your true nature. That Atman is within. And you are weeping. how this cowardice comes to you? And Sri Krishna uses a very, very strong word. Klebyam masmagam partha. Purposely he uses this word, klebyam. This unmanliness does not befit thee. And Arjuna naturally gets shattered, naturally gets shocked. And Sri Krishna wanted to give the shock treatment. You know, he knows Arjuna is suffering from neurosis. So the patient requires shock treatment. So Sri Krishna gives the shock treatment. Klebyam mas bhagama partha. This unmanliness does not befit thee. Klebyam mas bhagama partha naitvat tvai upapadyate. This does not befit thee. Why? Because you are Parantapa. You are scorcher of enemies. Enemies, they are afraid of taking your name. Such a great man, such a great warrior with Gandiva in your hand. And you are saying, I will not fight. And you become despondent and become cowardly. This does not befit thee. Get up. Shudram, Hridaya Daurbalyam. Give up this faint-heartedness. Shudram, Daurbalyam, Shudram, Hridaya Daurbalyam. Takto Tishta Parantapa. Get up. And that is the message Swami Vivekananda gave to all those people who are suffering from this tamasika mood. Awake, awake, great ones. Arise, 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 awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. He gave that message. Like Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna says, awake, arise. This unmanliness does not befit thee. This cowardice does not befit thee. What a wonderful message for the modern man. We can face our life. We can face the problems of life. We can face the challenges of life squarely by taking the help of Bhagavad Gita, by pondering over this one particular sentence itself, full of power, full of that vigor and strength. And I would like to quote from the book Bhagavad Gita as viewed by Swami Vivekananda, published from Advaita Ashrama. Just imagine what Swami Vivekananda is telling about this sentence. As for our topic that we are now dealing with, how to face life, how to face the problems of life. This is a very, very apt quotation. That is why I would like to tell this with inverted commas. Swami Vivekananda says, yield not to unmanliness, O son of Pritha. There is in this world neither sin nor misery, neither disease nor grief. If there is anything in the world which can be called sin, it is this, fear. Know that any work which brings out this latent power in thee is punya, virtue, and that which makes the body and mind weak is verily sin. Shake off this weakness, this faint-heartedness. Klebyam mas magahapartha. Thou art a hero, a Veera. This is unbecoming of thee. After telling this message, Swami Vivekananda says, if you, my sons, can proclaim this message to the world, Klebyam mas magama partha, then all this disease, grief, sin, and sorrow will vanish from off the face of this earth in 3 days. Swami Vivekananda says this will be all away. The fear of coronavirus pandemic or any other such disease or depression or any other problem, all this will be away. All the disease, grief, sin, and sorrow will vanish from off the face of the earth in 3 days. Only 3 days. 3, not more. Just imagine. Swamiji says, in 3 days, all will be over. If you can proclaim to this message to the world of Gita, Klebyam mas magahapartha, Klebyam mas magahapartha, Klebyam mas magahapartha. All these ideas of weakness will be nowhere. Now it is everywhere. This current of the vibration of fear, yes, it is everywhere. Now it is much more because of the pandemic. Now, of course, the pandemic is gone. Then recession in economic, recession in the market, then recession in the share market. This will go on. And then, of course, in life, there's so many problems students are facing. They are not getting proper admission. Then they become depressed. They do not, do not qualify for IAS, IPS. They become depressed. They cannot go to foreign countries. They are depressed. Students have their own problems. Businessmen, their own problems. Housewives have their own problems. Maid servant ka problem. So many problems everybody is facing. So now it is everywhere. This current of the vibration of fear, and everybody is afraid of this or that. Reverse the current, bring in the opposite vibration, and behold the magic transformation. Immediately magic transformation will be there. Thou art omnipotent. Go to the mouth of the cannon. Fear not. Hate not the most abject sinner. Look not to his exterior. Turn the gaze inward. Where resides this Paramatman? Proclaim to the whole world with trumpet voice. Proclaim to the whole world with trumpet voice. There is no sin in thee. There is no misery in thee. Thou art the reservoir of omnipotent power. Arise, awake, and manifest the divinity within. What a message Swamiji has given. How he has proclaimed the message of Bhagavad Gita. How he has compressed the message of Bhagavad Gita only in one sentence. The powerful message of Bhagavad Gita for facing the challenges of life, for facing the problems of life squarely. Swamiji has given the solution. And he says, proclaim this message of divinity of soul everywhere. In fact, what he did was the same thing. When we went to America, in the World Parliamentary Region, what did he say? He quoted from the Shveta Upanishad, Shrunumantu Vishwe Amritasya Putraha Aye Dhamani Divyani Tastuhu Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Adityavarnam Tamasa Parastat Tameva Viditva Timritimeti Nanya Panta Viditena. I have found the ancient one who is beyond all miseries. By knowing him alone, you shall be free from all miseries. And then he told, dear sisters and brothers of America, let me call you by this sweet name, children of immortal bliss. Ye, the children of immortal bliss, holy and perfect beings. Ye, divinities on us sinners. It is a sin to call a man so. It is a standing liable on human nature. Come upon lions and shake up the delusion that you are sheep. Your soul is immortal, spirit is free, blessed and eternal. Ye are not matter, ye are not bodies. Matter is a servant, not ye the servant of matter. This is what Swamiji told in America. And then he was there for more than 3.5 years. There, everywhere he gave this message of the divinity of the soul, which he is telling here. Go, preach everywhere this message of the divinity of the soul. He himself did the same thing. And everywhere he said, you are divine, you are divine, you are divine. One day, one American lady stood up and said, Swami, you are trying to hypnotize us, always telling you are divine, you are divine, you are divine. Swamiji immediately replied, Madam, I am not trying to hypnotize you. I am trying to dehypnotize you. Because already you hypnotized me thinking I am a sinner, I am a sinner, I am weak, I am weak. No, you are divine, that is the first truth. You are divine, that is the second truth. You are divine, that is the last truth. There is no truth greater than this. That is the message of Vedanta. You are divine, you are great, you have got infinite power within you. You are not this body-mind complex. Swami Vivekananda says, preach this message of divinity everywhere. Proclaim to the whole world this message of Bhagavad Gita. He says, if one reads this one shloka, Swamiji says further, if one reads this one shloka, Klebyam ma smagam partha naitat tvayu upapadate Shudram Hridaya Dorbalyam Takto Tishta Parantapa. One gets all the merits of reading the entire Gita. For in this one shloka lies embedded the whole message of the Gita. Swamiji says, the whole message of the Bhagavad Gita is contained in this one sentence. And if one reads this one shloka, it is almost like reading the whole of Bhagavad Gita. What a wonderful message Swamiji has given. This message of the divinity of the soul, which he preached in America. Following this message of Bhagavad Gita by Sri Krishna says, awake, 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 arise, arise, awake. And Swami Vivekananda also said, arise, awake, and manifest the divinity within. So here, what we find, that all the people who are suffering from Arjuna syndrome, here is the first message, that remember your true nature, remember you got infinite power within, remembering that, don't become faint-hearted, give up this cowardice, give up this unmanliness, and stand up and fight. Swamiji is telling this from his own experience. As you know, when Swamiji went to Benares, he went to Durga Devi temple. And there, when he was coming out of Durga Devi temple, some monkeys, fearful monkeys, they started chasing him. And Swamiji started running. And the monkeys started running after him. Now what to do? One side there was the pond, another side was a big wall. Swamiji was running ahead, and the monkeys were chasing. Now Swamiji became tired, what to do? Suddenly he heard an elderly monk shouting at him, "Hey, daro mat, bandar ka samna karo. Don't be afraid. Face the animals." And Swamiji immediately stopped and looked back, and he waved his stick like this. And all the monkeys fled away. Swami Vivekananda afterwards, in his lecture in America, said, "That day I learned one of the greatest lessons of my life." What is that? Face the brutes. Face the difficulties of life squarely. If you are afraid, difficulties will follow you. But if you face them, difficulties will run away. That is the greatest message. The same message is given here in the Bhagavad Gita by Shri Krishna. Don't be afraid. Give up this weakness. Weakness is sin. Weakness is death. This does not befit thee, O Arjuna. So this is the Bhagavad Gita starts in the second chapter with this powerful message of the divinity of the soul. The end of having the infinite power within you. Give up this unmanliness. There will be problems. Of course, there will be problems in life. Life itself is a problem. And life is full of problems. But where there is a malady, there is a solution also. There is a remedy also. Wherever there is a malady, there is a remedy. So take the remedy and start and go ahead. Another one more challenge that we face in life is how to face death. Now, facing the life means also facing death, because life and death are obverse and reverse of the same coin. Particularly during this pandemic, so many people were afraid what will happen if it comes to us, and if we die, what will happen. There was so much of fear among the people, and such type of things happen. And when we see others, sometimes we are beset with fear. How to overcome the fear of death? This is also part of the facing the problems of life. How to overcome the fear of death. Here also we get the message of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita comes to help us. How? Because of the immortality of the soul. The message that is given in Bhagavad Gita, immortality of the soul. When Alexander the Great came to India, he was in search of a saint whom he could take to his country. After a long search, while he was passing through the forest, he saw one saint sitting on a bit of a rock, hardly any clothes on him, but he was deep in meditation, and he was very much impressed. And after, when his meditation was over, Alexander started talking to him and became very much impressed with his knowledge. So he told him, "Now, I'm very much impressed by your knowledge. You must come to my country. I'll build a beautiful palace for you. I'll give you very nice garments. I'll give you all the facilities. Please come to my country." The saint smiled and said, "Why should I come to you? I'm very happy here. This river is giving me water. Tree is giving me fruits. I don't need clothes. The sky is my cloth. I'm very happy here. I'm fully blissful. I need not go anywhere." No, you must come to me. I had promised my guru that I'll bring a good saint from India. You must come to me. I'll not come. You have to come to me. I'll not come. Alexander was not a person who could beat anybody saying no to him, who would not tolerate, and become very angry. If you don't come, I'll cut you in pieces. And immediately drew out his sword. And when the sword came out from the sheath of Alexander, the other person would faint then and there. But here the reverse thing happened. The saints started laughing loudly. That is the most foolish thing you ever said, Raja. That is the most foolish thing you ever said, he said. Don't you know? Your sword cannot cut me. Fire cannot burn me. Air cannot dry me. The water cannot melt me. Water cannot wet me, because I am the birthless, deathless, ever pure, ever blissful Atman. Nothing can change me. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledayantiapo, shoshati marutaha, achedyoyam, adayoyam, akledyo, ashoshevacha, nitya sarvakata saru, achaloyam sanatana. This is the message of Bhagavad Gita, the second chapter. This Atman cannot be cut by his sword. It cannot be wetted. It cannot be dried by air. It cannot be burnt by fire. The birthless, deathless, ever pure, ever blissful Atman. I am that Atman. He was not afraid of death. And the story says that the saint said, you fool, you want me to take to your country? I can see through my third eye. You are not going to reach your country. And the history says Alexander could not reach his country. On the way, he had a very peculiar type of fever. He fell sick. At his deathbed, he called the general. He said, now I'm dying. I wanted to meet my mother, but unfortunately, I will not be able to meet her. That was his last wish, but it could not be it could not be done. It could not be carried out. He loved his mother very much. He wanted to meet his mother, but he said, now I can't meet my mother. So you fulfill my last wish. And the general said, okay, sure, I will fulfill your last wish. Then they said, when I give up my body, you put my body into the grave and put my hands dangling out of the grave. The general says, surely we'll do it. But why this peculiar type of last wish that you are telling us? Then Alexander said, you see, I conquered the whole world. So many ornaments, so much of gold, so much of land, so many elephants, so many horses. But I can't carry anything. And I'm so sorrowful. I'm so miserable. That particular saint, he has conquered death. And that is why at the time of death, he was laughing. He was fearless. And here I am, full of fear. I am dying, sorrowful. Let the whole world receive the message. Alexander came and conquered the world. He could not conquer himself. And so he is going empty-handed. And that saint, he had conquered himself. So he has conquered death. He has conquered the fear of death. And here I am miserable, going empty-handed. Let the world receive the message. This is the message of Bhagavad Gita. Be fearless, conquer death. How? By realizing you are not this body, you are not this mind. Chidanand Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I am birthless, deathless, ever pure, ever blissful Atman. This will not come in a day. We have to practice it, practice, makes a man perfect. This is what we have to do. Now we come to the third challenge. The challenge that we meet when there is a death of a near and dear one. And we become so much sorrowful because that is an irreversible process. No. Howsoever you may weep, that person who has left his body, that body will be burnt within 24 hours. Sometimes you may keep in cold storage for 2-3 days. That's all. Or it may be put in the grave, but that is the last. The body cannot come back. If you think a particular person is a body, that body will be destroyed. It cannot go on. So, life and death are opposite and reverse of the same coin. Death is inevitable. The most certain thing in this life is death. And the most uncertain thing is the time of death. But unfortunately, we do not remember it. And we forget about it. That is why Yudhishthira was asked this question by Yaksha. You know the story, the Pandavas were going in the forest and then they were thirsty, and so they wanted to have water, and Bhima goes there to fetch water. Nearby pond, he doesn't come back. Arjuna goes, doesn't come back. Nakula, Sahadev, they all go, do not come. Finally, Yudhishthira goes. He sees by the side of the pond all the 4 dead bodies. And then he wants to give water, again Yaksha appears. This is what will happen to you also, like your 4 brothers. Unless that you reply all my questions, I'm not going to allow you to drink water. Yudhishthira, okay, ask me a question. And Yaksha asks so many questions. And Yudhishthira replies all the questions. And then these 4 brothers also come to life. One of the questions asked was, what is the most wonderful thing in the world? Had we been there, we would have told Taj Mahal or something. But Yudhishthira said, the most wonderful thing in this world is every day people are seeing, people are dying. Previously there was no TV, so only when really somebody is dying nearby neighborhood, only we could come to know. Now through TV every day we are seeing so many people dying. In the war in Russia, between Russia and Ukraine, so many people dying because of disease, because of this, that. Thousands of people dying every day. And so many you see on TV. And what a wonderful thing. Nobody thinks that he is going to die. Everybody thinks he is going to remain forever. He is purchasing the car, thinking that it will remain with him, and he will take it to the law. He will make a special request to Yamaraja to take that car with him. And he goes for that latest model car, latest model house. Everything is planning as if he is never going to leave this world. You ask anybody, when do you plan to go to death? Don't ask this question. I am not going to die. I never plan for death. This is the most wonderful thing. Everybody is seeing everybody other dying. So many people dying, but always thinking, I will never die. But death is certain. Most certain thing in this life is death. Most uncertain thing is the time of death. Anybody can die any moment. There is no guarantee after one moment we will be here. At 9:23 on 26 January 2001, they were going for hoisting the flag. All those who were hoisting the flag, they were survived. Those who were in the hostel or in the rooms and all that, they died. Gujarat earthquake, I'm talking about. So within 1-2 minutes, everything was finished. So many people died. So you don't know what happens. Somebody will have a heart attack. Anything can happen in time. Anyway. So Sri Krishna tells, Jatasya dhruva mrityu, dhruvam janma mritasya cha, tasmada pariharyate natam shochitu manas. Why are you worried, Arjuna? Because whosoever is born will have to die. And whosoever dies will have to be born again. Remember, will have to be born again. So whosoever is dying, don't worry. Whosoever is alive, he will die. But after death, again he will be born again. So why are you worried? This is the law. Birth and death follow in succession. And then says, Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya, navani grinati naroparani, tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani, anyani sanyati navani dehi. This giving up the body is like giving up the garment. You know, a person, what does he do when a garment becomes old and torn? He gives up this garment, takes up the new garment. And there is always a joy to go for a new garment. There is no sorrow. You should not be sorrowful. Your relative who has died, he has changed the dress, that's all. And he will get a new cloth. He was old. The body was very emaciated. He was having cancer. And he was having so many problems with his body. So it is good. The cloth was torn. He has given up this dress. And he will get a new dress, get a new garment next birth. Why do you worry? It is like changing the dress, that's all. Death is nothing but changing the dress. When somebody changes the dress, you become happy. Oh, you are having a new cloth. Very nice. You appreciate. And when you yourself are changing the new dress, you also become happy. It is as good as that. You see, you cannot cut the argument of Sri Krishna, which is true. Very true. Because when the body dies, again there is rebirth. The law of reincarnation. Now it has been proved, verified by the scientists. Life after life by Dr. Renounced. If you read so many books by Dr. Stevenson who come, they have all verified the law of reincarnation. So whosoever dies is reborn again. It's like changing the cloth. Why should you grieve for that person? So you get solace from this message, the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. That person for whom you are lamenting, the person who has died, your relative, he's not gone forever. He has gone temporarily, he has changed the dress, that's all. He will be reborn again with a new body, with a good healthy body. Of course, that will depend upon his karmas. If he has good karmas, he will have a very nice body. He will be born in a very good family. He will be born in a family with good education. Or if he has done bad karmas, he may not be born in there. It all depends upon the karma, whatever it is. But he is going to be born again. Don't lament. This is changing the dress. So we get a lot of solace when we read Bhagavad Gita. When somebody dies, near and dear one, that solace is obtained from Bhagavad Gita. Now another problem, they face the challenge of stress management. Stress management is a big problem in the corporate sector, in the companies, for the students, everywhere. Stress management is a big problem. Stress is there. How to overcome the stress? The best way of the best formula for stress management is given in the Bhagavad Gita. What is that? Karmani vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karmafal hetubhu mate sangosta akarmani. O Arjuna, you have the right to do the karma and not to the fruits thereof. So you carry out your work in the best possible manner. Result will follow itself. You need not bother about result. Sometimes we have stress management programs for the students, particularly for board examination, the 12th science board examination, so we have a program only for them specifically, how to overcome tension of board examination. Then I asked them, how many of you are having tension? Already. How much tension? Too much tension. Okay. Then why do you get tension? Should I tell you? Yes. You got tension when you think about the result. Hi, 90% नहीं आएगा तो क्या होगा, है कि नहीं? Isn't it true that when you think about the result, when you are worried about the result, then only tension comes? Yes, that is true. Why worry about the result? This is the message of Bhagavad Gita. Just think about the karma. You want to get the best results. Swami Vivekananda says, one of the greatest lessons I've learned in my life is to pay as much attention to the means as to the end. Now that you've decided you want to get 90%, what you should do? Best possible manner, study with full concentration and study as much as possible. Do not waste any time. Maximum that you can do, you do. Can you do more than maximum? Then you do more than maximum. Best possible you try to do. Then leave the rest. Don't bother about result, because the law of karma is supreme in the mental world, just as law of gravitation is supreme in the physical world. As you saw, so you reap. If you work hard, you will get the result today or tomorrow or day after. It has to come with compound interest, not with simple interest. So why do you worry? It will come. So Sri Krishna says, Arjuna, don't worry about the result. Your right is to the work itself. You have the right to work. Your right is not to give the result. Result is you do your work properly, I will do my work properly. Karmani vadikaraste mahaphaleshu kadachana. That is not your business. Mahakarma phaletru matesangvasta karmani. But at the same time, you should not become inactive. You have to do the action. Do your best and leave the rest. That is the golden formula. Do your best, leave the rest. For any situation, any time we are having stress, best formula. Can you do better than best? Do better than best? Good, better, best. Good, better, best. Best is, there is nothing better than best. So, best possible thing you do. If you cannot do better than best, you do the best and now forget about it. Why? Don't bother about result. Why? Because that is not in your hand. It will come. It will be resultant of so many factors. It will come of itself. And then give the wait for the result that will come. Accept that result. Try for the best. Be prepared for the worst. Then you will not have any depression. I have tried at least I have satisfaction of doing my best. Otherwise, you will not have satisfaction of doing it. I tried my best. I got the satisfaction. If not this time, next time. This will be the great confidence that come to you. At least I have the satisfaction. I tried my best. Best possible manner. Vice Chancellor of a particular university came to me and she narrated all her problems, very peculiar problems. So as you know, it happens in any universities, so many things, so many factors were there. What to do? I said, what is your freedom? How much can you do? I said, I have got freedom of doing this much. Can you do more than this under the circumstances? No. Best possible manner you try to do to solve this problem. And then leave it to the Lord. You will have a satisfaction. Afterwards, if good result comes, well and good. If it doesn't come, at least you will have satisfaction. You tried your best. So you should be proactive. Don't wait. You contribute your own portion so that you will have a satisfaction. And she was so happy by getting all her tension was gone. Oh, yes, do your best, leave the rest. And finally, she came out of the problem. So this happens. This is the best formula for the students also. Do your best, leave the rest. Leave the rest to the Lord. Don't bother about result. Tension comes when you bother about result. And simple example, while playing cricket, your eyes should be on the ball or on the scoreboard. Many people, they do not understand this sloka. Oh, if the result is not coming, why should I work? Or if there is no target, why should I work? Then from where will I get the motivation to do work? I'm not saying you must have a target. Shri Krishna doesn't say, don't worry about the result because result is not in your hand. You worry about your work. You try to do the work in the best possible manner. Yoga karmasko kaushalam. Try to do in the best possible manner with maximum dexterity, maximum efficiency, with maximum concentration. Don't bother about that. But don't bother about the result. You do your work properly and the result will come properly. So tension comes from the result only. So this is a very simple thing I tell. It's not that you should not go for a century. No, you have a target of scoring a century. So what you should do, play the ball very well, judge the ball. Whenever there is shot is possible, you play the shots, you complete the century. But all the time, if you are looking towards the scoreboard and not looking to the ball, will you make a century? No, you will make a century -1, that is 0. You will be clean bowled, 0, because you are looking at the scoreboard, not at the ball, and the ball will go and clean bowled. Don't get clean bold. Don't bother about the result. Do your best first, then leave the rest. And the best will come from that. So the beautiful stress management formula that we get from Bhagavad Gita, the wisdom, do your best and leave the rest. Ma phaleshu kadachana. Then many students have got problem of control of mind, how to control anger, how to get concentration of mind. This is a problem of many students, concentration of mind, because of this overuse of gadgets and social media and all that. Concentration of mind is gone. So most of the students have this problem of concentration. And that is where Bhagavad Gita comes into picture to help us. Sri Krishna tells Arjuna, Arjuna asked this question on behalf of all of us. Arjuna, on behalf of modern man, on behalf of the modern student, Arjuna is saying, Chanchalami mana Krishna, Pramati balavadridham, tasyaham nigraham manne, vayori vasuduskaram. Arjuna says, who is Arjuna? Who could shoot at the bird, who was looking only in the eyes of the bird, and he could shoot the fish, not looking only at the reflection of the fish, he could shoot the fish. Such great, efficient person. What does he say? Having so much control over mind, and still he says, Chanchalami mana Krishna. O Lord Krishna, his mind is very, very chanchala, restless. Chanchalami mana Krishna, Pramati balavadridham. It is very overpowering. It is not under my control. Tasyaham nigraham manne. Control this mind for me is as difficult as controlling the wind in the fist. You cannot control the air in the fist. You cannot control the wind in the fist. It is very difficult. It is impossible. And he says, the control of mind is more difficult for me. For us also the same thing. Control of mind is very, very difficult. So, Shri Krishna replies, what does he say? Hey, you're talking like a fool. As he told in the second chapter, Klebim maskama partha, naitati upapadate. You are talking like a fool. You're talking like a coward. This cowardice does not befit thee. This unmanliness does not befit thee. He did not say like this to Arjuna in the 6th chapter. What does he say? Ashanshaya mahabahu. Mano durnigraham chalam. Even Sri Krishna accepts this. He says, yes, Arjuna, you are right. This mind is very difficult to control. Just imagine. Sri Krishna says very difficult to control. He accepts it. Swami Vivekananda says very difficult to control. Mind is like a monkey. There was a monkey and was very restless by nature, and somebody made him drink the wine. So he became more restless. Then a scorpion stung him. So he became still more restless. Then a ghost entered into his head. Then you just imagine the restlessness of the monkey. Swami Vivekananda says, our mind is like that monkey. We are always taking we are getting intoxicated with the wine of desire day and night. I want this latest model car, this latest model mobile. I want this one. I want to apply there, this, that. So many desires. Drinking the wine of desire day and night becomes more restless. Then the scorpion stings it. That is jealousy. How could he go ahead of me? And third is the demon of ego. Don't you know who am I? I'll tell you. So when this type of my mind, very difficult to control. So Sri Krishna says, yes, very difficult to control. Ashanshay mahabahu, mano durnigraham chalam. But then finally, abhyasenuto kaunteya vairagnicha grihiyate. But this becomes possible by two things. What are the things? Abhyasa and vairagya. What is abhyasa? Practice. Practice makes a man perfect. You have to practice. You have to study very systematically, time-bound and regular. Most important part is regular life. If you want to control your mind, There should be routine. Many students ask, where do you get up? Not certain. When do you go to sleep? Not certain. When do you take food? Not certain. When do you study? Not certain. Whenever I feel like, I get up. Whenever I feel like, I sleep. When I feel like, I study. Nothing is certain. Then they ask me the question, Swamiji, when will I get concentration of mind? I said, nothing certain. Nothing is certain about you, तुम्हारा कुछ निश्चित नहीं तो एकाग्रता भी निश्चित नहीं है. So first of all, you must make a routine. This is the time of getting up. This is the time of sleeping. So practice regularly at appointed time. If you want for meditation, same thing. If you want study, whatever you want, you must have a fixed time for everything. That is the best way of controlling the mind. Practice at the regular intervals, regular time. Practice, abhyas and vairagya. Vairagya does not mean becoming a monk or giving up the hearth and home. No. Vairagya means vitaraga, giving up the attachment. Attachment is the source of all our miseries. And attachment is that which comes in between because of that our concentration mind is decreased, and because of which we are not able to get success. If you want success, you must practice abhyas and vairagya. Both have to go simultaneously. Only abhyasa will not do. Vairagya is also important, because if you are attached to a particular person, then you will not be able to concentrate in your study. If you are attached to a person, if you are attached to a boy or a girl, if you are attached to your gadget, if you are attached to something, some item, then very difficult. So detachment is a must. 4 drunkards got together on the bank of a river. It was full moonlight, so they let us have a boating. So went inside the boat and started rowing, one after another. They were all rowing. And after a whole night of rowing, then there was sunrise and their intoxication had gone down and they came to life. And they started asking, oh my God, I am so tired rowing so much. He said, I am also tired. I rowed so much. Okay, let us see where we have come. Yes, there is a spot that has come. Let us get down. They got down and said, and they got down at the same spot from where they had started. What had happened? They had rowed the whole night, but they forgot to leave the anchor. So the anchor of attachment has to be lifted. Otherwise, you go on practice, abhyas, no vairagya. Abhyas and vairagya. These are the 2 things should go hand in hand. So Shri Krishna says, abhyasena to kaunteya vairagya griyate. By these 2 things, impossible becomes possible. The mind becomes under control. You get the concentration of mind, and you will be able to control your emotions. EQ will come, emotional intelligence will come. You will be able to control your emotions of jealousy, anger, and all that. And last, when there is so much of struggle in life, and there's a big calamity that comes, and you feel everything is over, the game is over, and any amount of efforts from your side is not giving result, and become 100% frustrated. And now you see the boat is sinking. There is no other support. You have gone to everybody. No support from relatives, no support from anywhere. And the situation is so much dark that you think everything is over. The game is over. Now, that is the time when Bhagavad Gita comes to your rescue. Go and surrender to the Lord. A beautiful thing, 18th chapter. Ishvara sarvabhutanam viddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmiyan sarvabhutani yantra rudhani mayaya tameva sharanam gaccha sarvabhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsasi shashvatam. Arjuna, surrender yourself to the Lord. Ishvara sarvabhutanam viddeshe arjuna tishtati. Ishvara, the Lord, is seated inside the heart of every human being. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hrideshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarvabhutani yantra rudhani maya. Just as the machine operator operates the machine and revolves the machine, similarly this Lord sitting on the inside the heart, he moves the whole all the whole life. Ishvara sarvabhutanam riddeshya tishtati brahmayan sarvabhutani yantra rudani maya. By his maya, he is revolving this machine. He is controlling our life. So what we should do? What you should do, Arjuna? Tameva sharanam gaccha. Go and surrender yourself to him. You are not able to do anything. You come to the last point. Okay, don't worry. Surrender yourself. He is all powerful. He has got infinite power. Go and surrender yourself to him. Surrender yourself to him. Tameva sharanam gaccha. Sarvabhavena bharata. Full surrender. Complete surrender. Tameva sharanam gaccha. Sarvabhavena bharata. Tat prasadat. By his grace. Tat prasadat. Param shantim. Thanam prapsasi shashvatam. You will get param shantim. You will get past which is eternal peace. You will get eternal peace. Param shantim. And eternal abode. Thanam prapsasi shashvatam. Eternal abode you will get. Eternal infinite peace you will get. Just surrender yourself completely to him. That is the last method. Always available to anybody who is not able to do anything. Don't worry. I am not able to control my. Don't worry. I am not able to give up my habit of drinking. Don't worry. Just go to the Lord. Pray to him. Surrender yourself to him. He will do the whole thing. He will do the whole thing. Don't worry. What a wonderful message. And last, Sarv Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tva Sarvapapebhyo Mokshishyami Ma Shucha. What a wonderful promise by the Lord. Ma Shucha, don't worry. Come to me. Sarva Dharman Parityajya. Give up all the supports. Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Come and surrender yourself to me. Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tva Sarvapapebhyo. I'll remove all sins from you. Don't worry about your sins. I'll take up all the sins. I'll remove all the sins. Aham Tva Sarvapapebhyo Mokshishyami. I'll relieve you from all sins. Ma Shucha. Don't worry. I'm here. Main hu na saath mein. Lord, what a great promise. I am with you. Don't worry. So let us surrender ourselves to the Lord when we are under tremendous pressure. When we feel that the game is over and we are not able to do anything, we are not able to do anything. We have come to the last point of our efforts. Always remember, there is this great path open to us shown by Bhagavad Gita. Complete self-surrender to the Lord. So I'm thankful to the organizers for giving this opportunity. My time is ending, but I'm so sorry that my voice was very bad. Still, I tried to do my best. Ultimately, we have to abide by the will of the Lord. And I'm thankful to you for giving the patient hearing in spite of my bad voice. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your insightful and wise words, Swamiji. Now, if we may open you to some questions, which people have, some very thoughtful questions, especially that some people have. A lot of them are in the chat. So one of the first questions that came was what to do when our dilemmas shake the very foundations of our faith.
Very good question. When the foundation of the faith is shaken, then you go to the Supreme Lord, who is residing within our heart. Just now, as I told, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Riddesha Arjun Tishtati. Go and surrender yourself to him. You have been shaken, don't worry. But there is the Paramatman, who is all powerful, who is all merciful, and is always there to help you. Go and surrender yourself to him, and your problems will be solved.
One question that might arise even in this kind of situation is, what if the foundations of this faith, the faith in the Paramatman that you are talking about, what if those are also shaken?
Yeah, there is. This faith in that means there is one divine spark in everybody's heart. This is the message of the Upanishads. Now the message of Upanishad has come from the revelations that they got during meditation stage. It is not only some fancy of the mind. They have got this during their deep meditation. And these mantras, they have been written in the Upanishads. Now, Kathopanishad says, Esha sarveshu bhuteshu gudo atma na prakashate drishyate tvagraya buddhya sukshmaya sukshmadarshivi. Inside every human being, there is a center of consciousness called Atman. Each soul is potentially divine. That is what Swami Vivekananda said. So here, Esha sarveshu bhuteshu, irrespective of caste, creed, color, religion, nationality, inside every human being, there is a center of consciousness. Esha sarveshu bhuteshu godo atma napra. It is not visible. If it is not visible, how to believe in it? Because it is not visible. It is not experienced. So how can we believe in that? That is why the next line is there. Esha sarveshu bhuteshu godo atma na prakashate drishyate. Some people have seen it. That is the proof. Some people have seen it. Drishyate tvagraya buddhya sukshmaya sukshmadarshivi. Some people with a very fine intellect, very subtle intellect, sharp intellect, they have seen Swami Vivekananda when he was a college student, Narendra Dutt. He said, I don't believe in God. Just because you say, I believe in God. I'm the son of an advocate. I'm a lawyer. I want document evidence. I want proof. And he had read Carl Spencer, John Stuart Mill, Dr. Herbert Spencer, John Stuart Mill, so many, Hume, and all those Western philosophers. So he had become an agnostic. He said, I don't believe in God. What is the proof? So any saint coming to Calcutta, he would just go to him. But he was in search of truth. He wanted to know the truth. So everybody would do. And then he would talk. Then he would ask this one question. Have you seen God? Nobody could reply. Process is nobody could give satisfaction. Then he was so much restless because he was not getting the answer of his question. Then he heard Devendranath Tagore, Maharishi Devendranath Tagore, that is father of Rabindranath Tagore, whom we know, who got the Nobel Prize. The poet Rabindranath Tagore, his father was Maharishi Devendranath Tagore, who established Sadharana Brahma Samaj. He heard that Devendranath Tagore, Maharishi Devendranath Tagore, stays in a cabin inside a boat, and always he is meditating on God. So he went to him. Then he entered his cabin, and Maharishi was meditating. After his meditation was over, he said, you are meditating too much on God. I want to ask you a question. Yes, ask the question. Sir, have you seen God? And Maharishi Devendranath replied, my dear boy, your eyes are beautiful, those of a yogi. And Narendranath was very much disappointed. I am asking the question, have you seen God? He says, your eyes are beautiful. I don't want my appreciation of my eyes. I want my reply. One day he had gone to the college. He was studying in Scottish Church College that day. One day it so happened that the professor who was teaching English literature was absent. So the principal William Hastie himself came to take the class of English literature. He was teaching them Wordsworth poem, the name of the poem, the Excursion. At that time, in that Excursion poem, it comes, this description comes, the poet goes into a trance. He goes to a subconscious state while seeing the nature. And the students ask, sir, is it possible that somebody could go to a trance, to a samadhi state, superconscious state? Then Professor William Hastie says, sir, yes, it is possible. I have seen one person who frequently interested in the state of trance and the samadhi state, superconscious state. If you want, you can also see him because he stays in Calcutta. There is the temple of Dakshineshwar, Mother Kali. Shri Ramakrishna Paramahansa stays there, and he goes into this trance often. And then Narendra said, okay, now let me also check up with this Babaji. He comes to Dakshineshwar, and then he sits down in the room. Shri Ramakrishna is talking to the devotees. After some time, he said, now enough of talk about God. Now you reply my question. Have you seen God? And Shri Ramakrishna replies, For the first time, he gets satisfied reply. Sri Ram says, yes, yes, my boy, I have seen God. Then he says, I am seeing him more intensely than I am seeing you. Then he says, if you want, you also can see him. But you have to undergo spiritual practices. And that is the science of religion. Science says H2 will make it water. H2 plus O2 is equal to water. Oh, hydrogen is a gas, oxygen is a gas, how it can give water? You come to the laboratory, have hydrolytic process, and if you don't get that, you say, I don't believe. It's not a question of belief, it's a question of experimentation. So Sri Ramakrishna says, I have experimented, I got. You also can experiment, but come to the laboratory of experimentation, of spiritual practices. And in that practices, then he got Nirvikal Samadhi, the test of Nirvikal Samadhi in Kashipur garden. That is why he would declare in the Parliament of World Religion, I have seen God. So the greatest consolation for us is that if we have not seen God, doesn't matter. If you are not experiencing Atma, doesn't matter. But some people have seen. And in our modern times also, some people have seen. Not thousands of years back, the rishis are telling, Esha Sarvesya Bhuteshu Guru Atmana Prakashate. But in these modern times, as a representative from all of our modern youth, a student asks this question to Sri Ramakrishna and he replies, yes, it is possible. And the students afterwards get the realization. This is our great support. Let us have faith in that. And let us move forward. It's not a question of day or two. In fact, we are also trying. We are trying to realize that Supreme. We are on the way, but we are confident. We are very much convinced. If somebody has got it, we will also get it. Today or tomorrow, we have to get it. So let us all join together and try to have spiritual practice. And then, based on our experience, we can say, yes, there is the Atman, there is God, there is that infinite power. But at present, there is no harm. You know, when there is some imagination, if you think there is imagination, but if imagination helps, what is the wrong? But it is not imagination, first of all. Even if you think it is God is an imagination, if it is giving you power, if it is giving you the solution of problems, what is the harm? Because when you are going for this, so many sort of, in geography also, you make so many drawings and all that. You believe in that, and accordingly the aeroplane moves. So, but our scriptures say, no, it is not an imagination. We have seen, some people have seen it. Trishyate Tograya Buddhya Sukshmaya Sukshmadarshi. That is our support. So let us believe in that. And let us believe in the power of the Atman, infinite power of the Atman. And let us experience a little by practicing it.
Thank you, Swamiji. That definitely cleared up this question. So the next question is, Krishna has asked to only focus on the works and actions rather than the fruit. So if we were to work, say, without income, then how will we fulfill our worldly needs such as and our families? Could you please shed some light on this?
As I told you, you must work for the result. You must have a target, and you must work for the result. But your eyes should not be on the scoreboard. Your eyes should be on the ball while you are playing cricket. Supposing you are doing business, if they are not thinking what will the result, what will the profit, to work for profit only is like playing tennis with your eyes on the scoreboard rather than on the ball. So we are not saying the result will not come. You have to think about the result. You have to put a target, no problem. But now once the target is fixed, how much amount of energy is required? What type of strategy should be applied? For getting the target, you concentrate on those strategies, on those techniques, rather than always worrying about the result. That is the thing. That is the idea.
Truly. So the next question here is, just a moment. Yeah, how to deal with the effects of impressions on the mind, like anger, jealousy, lack of patience, which keep arising even after we are aware that it is only impressions in the mind and not reality.
how to deal with the effects of mind impressions like anger, jealousy, lack of passion, etc., which keep arising even after being aware that it is only mind impression, not reality. It is the reality, not that it is not impression. It is a reality. Anger is a reality. Jealousy is a reality. These are the emotions that come. So what we have to do is we have to develop our EQ, not only IQ, EQ, emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence comes by the control of mind. And the control of mind is a technique in itself. Mind and its control is a beautiful book by Swami Buddhananji. You can read that book. But I told you in a nutshell, the gist of the whole thing is Abhyasenuto Kaunteya Vairagya Griyate. Gradually, by practicing regularly meditation, prayer, reading good books, positive things, positive books, and on the other hand, getting detached, having a spirit of detachment from the persons as well as the items, which is drawing your mind away from the desired objects. These two things combiningly will help you to override your mind. It will not come in a day. It's a gradual process, but gradually you can control your mind. And always remember one equation: purer the mind, the easier it is to control the mind. So how to get purity of mind in that case? Ahar shuddhau, sattva shuddhi, sattva shuddhau, ruvasmitihi. If your intake is pure, your mind will become pure. Now, intake is only not through mouth. One is intake through mouth. That should be pure. You should take the food which is not irritating. That is not enough. We are taking intake over eyes and ears. Remember 3 monkeys of Gandhiji. Do not see evil. Do not listen to the bad things. Do not listen to evil. Do not see evil. Do not speak evil. 3 monkeys of Gandhiji, remember. Also remember the 3 monkeys of Switzerland. One of our Swamijis had gone to Switzerland for preaching Vedanta. By the side of a lake, there are beautiful lakes, as you know, in Switzerland, many beautiful lakes. By the side of a lake, he saw an image of 3 monkeys, but very strange monkeys. So far, he had seen 3 monkeys, one monkey, 2 eyes closed, second monkey, 2 ears closed, third monkey, mouth closed. Here he saw one monkey having 1 eye closed, 1 open. Second monkey, 1 ear closed, 1 open. And third monkey, half mouth open, half mouth closed. He was bewildered. What are the 3 monkeys trying to say? Those 3 monkeys we know: don't look at evil, don't speak evil, don't listen to evil. What does these 3 monkeys? After a long time, he got the meaning when he remembered a shloka from the Vedas. Which was the shloka? Bhadram karnebhi shunuyam devaah, Bhadram pashe makshabhir jatraah, Sirairangai stustuvagam sastunubihi, Vishema devahi tayyadayuhu, Swastina indro vriddashavaah, Swastina pusha vishwavedaah, Swastina staksho arishnemi, Swastino brihaspati dadatu, Bhadram karnevi shunuyam deva. Listen to good things. Don't listen to bad things. But 1 ear is closed. Don't listen to bad things. But one ear is open. Listen to good things. 1 eye is closed. Don't see bad things. But 1 eye is open. See good things. Don't see bad pictures on TV, but see good pictures. Don't read bad books. Read the books of Swami Vivekananda. Read the books of positive thinking. Read the books of self-development. Read good books. Don't speak evil of others, but have a word of appreciation for others. So trying to take good intake through our senses and avoiding taking the bad intake will make our mind purified. And C is directly proportional to P, where C is equal to concentration of mind and P is equal to purity of mind. So that is how gradually, when our mind will be under control, then we will be able to control all these emotions: anger, jealousy, envy, all those things we'll be able to control gradually by this practice of having more and more purity of mind, and by practice, abhyas and vairagya.
Ji Swami. Then here's a question that might be slightly more technical for this kind of session, but if you can answer it, please illustrate the relationship between Stula, Sukshma, Karan, and Mahakaran Sharir and the Panchakosha.
Oh my God, it's a very big question. So there are Panchakosha, that is Annamaya Kosha, then Pranamaya Kosha, then there's Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha, and behind all that is the soul. So this is a theoretical question. You come to the practical question, but of course, this kosha also, Panchakosh Bhed, ultimately you have to do and reach the ultimate Atman by this one. So these are the questions, theoretical questions. Come to practical problems. Then, good example, Karma Yoga, cricket. Any other problem, practical problem?
Another question which has come to me is how do we incorporate the teachings of the Gita and some steps for better implementation?
Yes, please, can you repeat the question? How can we?
How to incorporate the teachings of the Gita as in steps for better implementation.
Oh, how do we incorporate the teachings of Bhagavad Gita? Huh?
Yes, yes.
In our daily life.
Yeah, in daily lives.
Very good. So whatever teachings come to, number one is that if you can recite the slokas, very good. Number one, you can recite a few slokas. But best is that you take one sloka every day or two slokas and try to find out the meaning and if you are not good at Sanskrit, doesn't matter. You see the translation and you think about the slokas, the meaning of the slokas whole day. This is the best way. Every day, two, three slokas you can do. And then some slokas you feel are very practical, are very important, or very useful to you in your daily life. You take them together, you take them away, make a small list, and those slokas you should repeat every day. And you learn by heart. It's very, very easy. For example, say the Sthita Pragya Shloka. Very few slokas are there. You just repeat you can repeat without seeing the book. Or they are the slokas from Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti Yoga. Very few slokas. Whatever slokas appeal to you, you make a collection and repeat them and try to remember the meaning behind that. These are the two ways. One, every day 2-3 slokas, and then reading the translation, reading the meaning, and try to find out the meaning and trying to remember the meaning all day. Number one. Number two is that take a collection of the slokas and remember by heart and recite every day. These are the two methods.
Yes, this one. One more question here is this. While in remembering God, surrendering the ego and feeling the connection, it gives a sort of solace. But why does this solace not last for very long?
Yeah. So solace is coming, isn't it? Solace is coming. That's a positive thing. So the solace is coming. So try to repeat the same thing again and again. Whatever is giving you solace, one time is not enough. Try to go to the same source from where you're getting solace. One time is not enough. Supposing you are reading a book of Swami Vivekananda, it gives you solace. Then every day you have to take the injection. One injection is not enough. Every day take one injection. Or two injections per day you can do, morning, evening. So if you are getting a solace from one source, you try to repeat it. Recharging the battery is very important. You see, you are recharging your mobile battery at night. Otherwise, no SMS, nothing can be gone. So recharging the battery is very important for mobile. Similarly, it's very, very important for us to recharge our mental battery. For that, what we should do? recharge the mental battery by electric shock. From where you will get electric shock? From the books of Swami Vivekananda. These are not my words. French savant Romarola, the Nobel Prize winner, he was told by another Nobel Prize winner, Rabindranath Tagore, if you want to know India, study Vivekananda. In him, everything positive, nothing negative. Then he started reading the books of Swami Vivekananda, and he was so much engrossed in it, and he was so much influenced that he wrote a book on Swami Vivekananda. And about the words of Swami Vivekananda, he said, his words are great music, phrases in the style of Beethoven. I cannot touch these sayings of his, scattered as they are, through the pages at a 30 distance, without receiving a thrill through my body, like an electric shock. So that electric shock is there in the words of Swami Vivekananda. You take that electric shock, it will recharge your mental battery. So one time is not enough. Maybe twice a day. Some people need two tablets, 2 injections a day. Some people need 1 injection a day. Most of us need at least 1 injection per day. So while going to sleep, at least read 1 sentence, at least read a few pages from the book of Swami Vivekananda. Take that injection of tonic, injection of strength, injection of power. Start your day with 1 sloka from the Gita, end your day with 1 sentence from Swami Vivekananda. This is the practical advice I can give to the students.
All right, Swamiji. The last question for today will be, someone has asked, what is the ultimate purpose of life? So this might be the deepest question we have received so far.
Yeah, very nice question. And that is the real question. What is the purpose of life? Purpose of life is to go beyond all types of miseries, all types of suffering, once for all. Purpose of life is to get eternal life. Purpose of life is to conquer death. Purpose of life to get infinite happiness, infinite love, infinite bliss, infinite knowledge, infinite strength. And that is our birthright. This is our birthright. And we don't have to get it, it's already there. Swami Vivekananda says you don't have to go and import divinity. Each soul is potentially divine. Each soul, irrespective of caste, creed, color, religion, nationality. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal, you asking about the purpose, na? The goal of human life is to manifest it. How? By controlling nature, external and internal. Do this either by work or worship or psychic control or philosophy. By one or more or all of these, and be free. This is the whole of religion. Doctrines, dogmas, rituals, temples, churches, mosques are but secondary details. So 4 yogas: Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Karma Yoga. So you must have seen the symbol of Ramakrishna Mission. Ramakrishna Mission symbol. This is the symbol. This is the symbol of Ramakrishna Mission. You must have seen all the books. So what are there? One is the serpent, then there is the waves of water, then there is the sun, and there is a Hansa, and then there is the lotus. So the serpent indicates the Kundalini Shakti, the power of Kundalini. So Kundalini, power of Kundalini moves like a serpent from Muladhara to Sahasrara. When it reaches Sahasrara, then you get Samadhi. That is the purpose of Raj Yoga. Then lotus indicates bhakti, love. That is Bhakti Yoga. Waves of water are the waves of karma, Karma Yoga. Sun, knowledge, Gyan Yoga. Hansa means Paramahansa, means Paramatma. And it's written there, Tannu Hansa Prachodayat. This is how the vision of Paramatman is achieved. How? By combining 4 yogas. Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Karma Yoga. So my reply to the question is, the purpose of life is to manifest the divinity within by practicing these 4 yogas in daily life, by which every day we'll get happiness and peace. Every day we'll be able to overcome our tension, ultimately culminating in infinite happiness, infinite bliss, infinite knowledge, eternal life. That is the purpose of life.
All right. Thank you. We shall end the session here. Thank you very much, Swamiji, for your time, and that in spite of your ill health, you took effort to guide us in in many different and great ways.